Hey everybody, I am on for the midweek message reveal, November 2nd. That is today. Can you believe we're in November already? How is everything happening all at once? I feel like once we get past just even September itself, things just start flying, and then you realize, shit, what happened to the year? Well, a lot has happened. And there's a lot energetically that's happening too, as you know, and I'm sure that you are experiencing. Um, Big movements that are occurring around the eclipses, which are kicking off extra energy, as I mentioned previously. So as we've kind of eked our way into Scorpio season, where we're revealing and uncovering and trying to kind of sleuth and figure some stuff out, we have energy that's moving from, let's see, Mars moved retrograde in Gemini, which is allowing us to kind of take a look at the way that our communication patterns have come about, the way that we speak, and the ways that we interact with others, and how that affects our overall experience with this reality that we're in. So we have that energy happening. And also, after we've just come out of the solar eclipse with the new moon in Scorpio the other week, on the 8th, we are moving into the full moon in Taurus, which is a beautiful, deep, seated, sort of secure energy. But we add a lunar eclipse onto that, and that kind of makes it a little bit more frantic. It makes things a little bit more grabby. It makes things a little bit more aware, wanting to get rid of the things that don't serve because it seems so freaking obvious. So be aware that that's going to kind of come through. You're going to have a shift to where you're going to, the stuff that just seems like you're not able to do anything with it, like you see it, you're going to have a clearer path once we have this eclipse situation happening with the full moon. All right, so let's jump into the cards here. So this week, the cards are very much, they're similar. They have similar vibes. There's a lot of blue tones. There's a lot happening in the throat. There's a lot happening in the third eye, as we've kind of experienced before. So intuition is something that's really coming online, and also a sense of being able to speak a little bit more about the things that you're experiencing. And maybe you're feeling a little more magical. I feel like that's kind of a thing. Like the woo is coming online for people, and maybe not so much in a way that is, Miss Cleo, call me now for your free reading or anything like that. More like a, hey, there's a sense of magic here. There's a sense of playfulness. There's a sense of something that is on its way, and you're able to kind of tap into that a little bit. Okay, so one, if you chose one, group one, your card is manifestation. This card is bomb, and it's a 10. Okay, and even look at her hands, all 10 fingers, totally there for you to see. 10s are ones are fantastic, specifically for manifestation, but also 10s are 2 5s, very symmetrical. Everything in this card, to me, I feel just a center line. What's happening here with you guys in one is that you've really moved into a place where you're like, okay, I think I get it now. And maybe that's what's happening. Maybe that's what you're feeling, because there's almost a, yeah, I kind of feel like that. This is where you're at. You know that you are the shit, and that you can bring into your reality what you want. You're starting to kind of play into, and maybe there was kind of like some back and forth. I'm almost getting like for a couple months now, there's been you can manifest this, you can manifest that, you can try this, you can try that, and you kind of get a little taste of it. Maybe something happens where you're thinking about it, you're thinking about something that you'd like, or an outcome that you'd like to have, and it happens exactly like how you ideally wanted it to happen, or even better. You're believing in your own abilities, and that's actually really awesome, but it's a little scary, but you feel kind of okay about it. I feel like there's like a line that's actually going from the top of my crown all the way down like to the center of my sternum here, and it's almost like you're being halved. And this opening, it's like you're literally being cracked open. It has a lot to do with heart expansion. It's a lot to do with compassion for yourself, but also a sense of empowerment. Like, you've gotten to a place where you realize that, hey, maybe I do have more control over this than I want to. And if I change the way that I do things, I can actually create that ripple effect that'll go out into the reality that I am existing in and bring me more of what I want. Lean into that energy. Even where she's looking upward. And these waves of intuition, which, you know, are her hair, are coming right out of the top of her crown, out of her third eye. She's very aware of what is happening here. She is very much in control. She is drawing with her fingers and her palms and her hand chakras, everything to her that she needs. I'm getting a lot of jellyfish vibes happening here, which is very formless. Makes me think of air signs too. So there may be some influence that's happening where you're feeling a bit more up in your head, where you're wanting to kind of bring down into that emotion. This is going to be something that will be coming through. I'm actually getting some fullness happening here in the left side. So one, be aware of the fact that you are going to be experiencing, if you haven't already, almost kind of like an emotional purging that's going to be occurring. And this is tied to your ability to manifest. So there's some stuff that you need to let go of that is going to come up through this time. And the guidance is to allow yourself to feel the feelings around it, because this cleansing, purging kind of vibe that's happening is going to move some of this junk out the way so you can get to what you want to do. So ride the wave. Lots of wave riding. All right. So I'm moving on to 2. You chose 2. Ooh, divine being. This is a 16. Man, super Matrix vibes. I'm also getting major like Donnie Darko vibes. Not sure if you guys are aware of that movie. Fantastic film. A 16 is a 7. So this is to do with intuition again. The color blue coming through and the indigo for the third eye, for the throat chakra, even some of the crown. What's really cool about seeing the whole Donnie Darko vibe is it has to do with wormholes and timelines. It has to do with string theory, the concept of being a multidimensional being. And this card itself is divine being. Knowing that you are constructed in a way that is beyond what we can even comprehend as humans. We have so little knowledge on what we're actually able to do. And a lot of that has to do with the programming that we've kind of been handed down to us through generations and generations, that, you know, you were limited in this physical form. You were limited to the capacity of your brain. You were limited to this, to that. And that's bullshit. And you're starting to realize that. Similar to 1, where you're starting to understand, 1, that you are able to create. You are a creator. You are co-creating with the universe, an environment, an experience, a reality that you're interested in. With 2, what's happening here is you're starting to realize that you yourself are a divine being, and your divinity, your multidimensionality is also the thing that you can manipulate in your favor. You get to choose how things go, and it's a sense of empowerment. It's a sense of understanding. It's almost as I'm seeing like puzzle pieces kind of come together, but ones that are kind of like magnetic, so they make that satisfying like noise. Couldn't help it. But that sort of vibe where you just feel, oh, wait a minute. I don't have to deal with this. I'm badass. That's what's happening here. There's a confidence boost that's happened. Maybe you're being recognized for something that you've done recently, or something that maybe you yourself are recognizing yourself for something that you've done that's outside of your normal MO. Something that you've been working on. And it is taking place in the physical. There's a sense of physically feeling better. And that physical feeling better isn't necessarily like one body part that feels better. It's just an overall sort of vibe of, yeah, you know, I'm okay. So when someone's saying, how are you? And you say, I'm fine, how are you? And no one listens and actually no one answers. Don't you love how that's a thing? You really are genuinely saying, you know what? Yeah, I'm all right. I'm not sugarcoating it. I'm not saying that I am not okay. I'm actually stepping into a place where I'm feeling more myself, feeling more whole. And that wholeness is your acknowledgement that you are a fantastically complex, spiritually advanced, super being. and the mundaneness, the 3D-ness, the day-to-day stuff, it just isn't hitting you as hard as it used to. And you're seeing it, and that's great. Because once you realize that what you pay attention to is what comes back. So if you're no longer paying attention to the drama or the pettiness or the gossiping or even just, like just the complaining, there's a lot of complaining that has happened in your experience recently around you. You're no longer playing part in it, and not playing part in it is allowing you to have that space so you can fill your cup sooner and quicker and easier and not be so drained. So I also feel too that there's been some energetic leaks that were present here in two, but have been repaired over time. And that's through your own paying attention to what you need and checking in with yourself. Continue to do that. I'm getting an itch in the nose. That makes you feel like that is partially part of it. Also could be some sinus that's happening here, some movement that's kind of occurring as far as a rebalancing that the hemispheres. It's kind of like, I'm hearing like keep things kosher, which is an interesting phrase. Things are good, things are chill, things are fine. But also that makes you feel a little weird because things haven't always been like that. And when you get chill and relaxed, you're looking for the other shoe to drop. Don't go into that space. Stay in this nice sort of bubble of, everything's okay right now. And it's not necessarily perfect and it's not terrible and we're not sugarcoating it, but you're in a space where you feel like you have a bit of a breather. Take advantage of that. Good job too. You guys been working hard. Pat yourself on the back. Okay. Group 3, the path. 22. Fantastic. That's a 4. 4s have to do with your guardian spirit angels, your higher self checking in maybe a bit more than normal to where you're actually paying attention to it some, and that what's happening with you is divinely guided, and that the things that you're focusing on are actually being tinkered with by your crew, people who are helping you out and wanting you to have the happiness. That's all our higher aspects, our spirit team wants, is for our happiness. So give it to yourself. This is the path. So much blue here. So it's not just the path that you're walking, it's the path that you're talking. You're actually walking your talk. Similar to 1, similar to 2. What's happening here with 3 is that you're kind of stepping into another layer of awareness. And while this is a walking path, and this, it looks like some sort of, it's like a mushroom castle. I see this more aquatic, and I see this actually the entire scene underwater. There may have been a recent a loss or grief around either a passing or maybe a memorial of or anniversary of a special time, or a time that is no longer. It doesn't necessarily have to be a person or an animal, though it could be. But what I'm really getting here is just a sense of things have changed, and there's some bittersweet around the path. There's things that are happening around what it is that you're wanting to do and the things that you're wanting to bring into your life and into your existence that you haven't really been able to talk about. And now that you're able to talk about it, it's bringing up a lot of emotion, and those emotions are coming up for healing. So allow that to happen. If you're not able to speak it outright and speak and have a conversation with someone, if it's too private or it doesn't feel right to you, or it's just doesn't feel right to you, like I was saying, think about journaling, think about even writing an email and just completely deleting the thing, or writing it out by hand and ripping it up and allowing that to take its space. There's a lot of cleansing, healing that's happening here as you are starting to redefine what your path looks like. What does it look like over here? I mean, is this the way I want to go? You're having an opportunity to say, I don't know, let's check this checklist. Let's see if my priorities are the same as they used to be. So it's kind of a taking stock of what's gone on. I'm feeling a lot of happy, sort of bubbly energy in the chest, which is great. So allow that to lift you. All right. Thanks, 3. Well, I hope everyone enjoyed the messages this week. If you're interested in working with me, please feel free to check my link. I would love to hear your feedback, so please reach out. And I will check everybody later. I hope that you survive. I don't even say survive. That was a little dramatic. I hope that you feel the way in which the world wants you to do well, because it's just such an awesome energy that's coming through. And I really feel that everyone here has done a lot of work, and this work it's the best. It's the best thing that you could do for you, is show yourself love and show yourself acknowledgement and show yourself that you appreciate all of the things that you have and the gratitude that you have for being a spirit and having a human experience. So share it, love it, be it, do it, all the things. Have an awesome week. We'll check you next time. All right, peace.